Playa Vista, California, our own little oasis inside of Los Angeles. Now, if you're from the LA area, you've definitely heard of Playa Vista, but if you're not from Los Angeles, you probably haven't. Although you may have heard of it by its other name, Silicon Beach. Yes, Northern California has Silicon Valley, we've got Silicon Beach. And I've got to say, we've got the upper hand because, well, we've got the beach. Now, in this video, I'm going to go over why so many people are living here and moving here. But prior to that, I'm going to describe where it is located within Los Angeles and a brief history. So let's get into it. Now, if you drive around the perimeter of Playa Vista, Jefferson Boulevard and Lincoln Boulevard, you probably wouldn't have any idea of what's going on inside. In fact, it is extremely discreet, but once you get inside, you are welcomed by well-manicured parks, landscaping, modern contemporary buildings, and it's almost like driving through the back lot of Universal Studios, like a movie set. It is incredible. So where is Playa Vista located within the Los Angeles area? To the south, you have Westchester and the LAX airport, and right around the corner, Loyola Marymount University. To the west, you've got Playa del Rey and the Marina del Rey. And to the north, you've got Mar Vista. To the east, you have Culver City, Baldwin Hills area. And you are just minutes from the 405 freeway, making north and south travel along the city extremely easy. So, brief history of Playa Vista. What was it before it became a community? In 2004, first phase was completed, and that's when people moved in, however, not without controversy. Now, prior to it to being Playa Vista, this great community, this wonderful place where people are living, it was actually home to Howard Hughes Aircraft, the aircraft innovator, and he had many hangars there, including the construction of the famous Spruce Goose, which holds the record for the plane with the longest wingspan to actually take flight. Now, that's not where the controversy begins. The controversy begins twofold. First, before construction and during the proposal phase, there's conservationists that believe that these wetlands shouldn't have been built on because they were home to so many native species and native plants. The controversy was settled. Ultimately, there was compromise, and about 3/4 of these wetlands were built out, and about 1/4 of it was saved for preservation and conservation. And in that quarter, you can actually walk through, there's trails. It's actually quite nice where you can see the native species and native plants, and it's quite peaceful. There was also another controversy. During construction, they actually found, they dug up a old historical archaeological dig showing artifacts of the Tongva native people. And so there was controversy of whether to continue building and what to do. Ultimately, they finished the project, but in Playa Vista, they do have a dedicated area about the Tongva people where you can learn about their history. Now, we're going to get into why so many people are moving here, why so many people want to live here. I'm going to be giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
What's up, everyone? It's Dave Fine here with the Real Estate Dads right here in Los Angeles. Welcome to the channel if this is your first time, and welcome back if you've been here before. As you know, we do tons of videos of what it's like to live, work, and play right here in Los Angeles, and we absolutely love doing these videos. So make sure you subscribe, tap the bell to get notified every time we drop a new video. And if you are thinking about relocating here, hit us up, give us a call, shoot us an email, send us a text. We got you covered when you move to LA. So why is everyone wanting to move and live in Playa Vista? Well, as I said before, it's truly an oasis, but not without a price. So I highly recommend you stay tuned towards the end of the video, where I give you some reasons of why Playa Vista may not be the right fit for you. Spoiler alert, it's pretty expensive.
I can't eat! I'm broke!
There are a lot of extra unique fees when living in Playa Vista, but I'll leave that to a little bit later in the video. Now, the number one reason why people want to live in Playa Vista is the sense of community. Playa Vista was developed and built around this foundation. Once you get into Playa Vista, you feel like you never have to leave. It has everything for you. It has its own park system, its own elementary school, Playa Vista Elementary, CVS. It has a Whole Foods. It has restaurants. Anything you can imagine and need, it is there. And why would you want to leave? It's a place where you've created this really tight-knit community because you live, work, and play all in the same neighborhood. It's really a place where everybody knows your name.
Where everybody knows your name.
In fact, when you're walking around, you're seeing the same faces over and over and over again, making it really easy to make friends. Now, a lot of people are walking around the community, they're biking around the community, they're at one of 20 different parks, or they're hanging out at one of the 2 different clubs that they have in Playa Vista. The Center Point and the resort both have extraordinary pools, gyms, rec centers. There's a library. They even have their own elementary school. When I say it's a place you never have to leave, you really don't. It's quite amazing.
That you will never leave.
And that leads into another reason why people love living here is because of all the amenities that Playa Vista offers. And it's all walkable, or get on your bike and ride around, or you can jump on a shuttle if you don't feel like doing either one of those. They have everything you can imagine here. They've got a grocery store and Whole Foods. They've got its own movie theater in the Cinemark Theater. They also have plenty of dining options, from Sol Cucina to Urban Plates. They also have your coffee places like Starbucks and Coffee Bean. They have Epic Mega Cookie. I highly recommend checking that out. They even have their own urgent care, Cedars-Sinai Urgent Care. They've got dry cleaners. They've got banks. They have convenience stores. They've got everything you need here.
We've got it all for you.
Now, they also thoughtfully planned out lots of open space, including parkland. There's about 20 parks within the Playa Vista community, including dog parks. You have Discovery Park with its own nature walk. You've got Concert Park, where they have the farmers market, concerts, plays. They have special events during the holidays and throughout the seasons. It is quite the place to go and see and gather with lots of people during these special events. In addition to the park space, they also created a space for just lounging around. They created these awesome water features and water fountains and art sculptures just to sit around and hang out. And that's part of what attracts so many people, again, just to hang out and meet people and hang out with friends, all making it a very attractive place for anyone that wants to live and play and work in a very social environment. Now, I've mentioned work in Playa Vista several times, but what do I mean by this? Who's working in Playa Vista? Now, Playa Vista isn't just a place for residential community. It is a place to work. It is actually home to some of the biggest companies in the world. In fact, over 50 companies house themselves within Playa Vista, and that's why it's also affectionately known as the campus. Now, what do I mean by big companies? Major companies like Google, Facebook, YouTube, EA Sports, Fox Sports, Belkin, Verizon, IMAX, you name it, these major companies, especially the tech sector, are here. And that's what is attracting so many people to live and move to Playa Vista, is the tech community. It is a place, again, where you can live, work, and play all in the same neighborhood. Everything's walkable, everything's accessible. And again, you really never have to leave. It's this very special community centrally located in Los Angeles. As I mentioned, this does not come without a price though. It is super expensive to live in Playa Vista. Now, what do I mean by that? Of course, we all know the housing market in Los Angeles in general is out of control. Even though we have had a little bit of a slowdown in the market, prices are still high, especially when you're comparing it to most parts of the country. Now, I'll quickly go over some of the housing prices in Playa Vista. Now, in Playa Vista, there aren't very many single-family homes, but there are some. And on the average is a 3-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 3,000 square foot home that's going to run you about $2.5 million. What Playa Vista is mainly made up of are condos and townhomes. And these condos, on average, are about 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, about 1,600 square feet, and about 1.7 million. So yes, prices are expensive. But that's just the cost of real estate. What other expenses are there? Well, there are 2 HOAs and Melrose. So let's get into the HOAs first. Now, with most condos and townhomes, you expect an HOA, and that is true for Playa Vista. So you have your own building's HOA. That can range anywhere between $350 to $500 per month, and that'll include the amenities that building offers. Now, in addition to the building HOA, you also have a Playa Vista community HOA called the Playa Vista Parks and Landscape HOA. Now, what this covers is basic internet, basic cable, access to gym for both resorts, pool access to both resorts, as well as maintenance of the parks and landscaping throughout the community, and 24-hour security. This will run you around $250 a month. So if you add the 2 HOAs with your building and the community HOA, you could be anywhere between $700 on up to $1,000 depending on the building each month.
I'm fainting. I'm going to faint.
But that's not all. If the 2 HOA fees didn't break the bank enough, well, there's one more fee associated with living in Playa Vista, and that is the Melrose tax.
What?
Now, I'm not going to get into the details of how a Melrose tax is passed, but it essentially pays for the infrastructure. Now, keep in mind, before Playa Vista was built out, it was just marshland, wetlands. There was no infrastructure. So what this does is it pays for things like utilities, parks, the fire station, traffic improvement, the sewer lines, ultimately builds out the infrastructure for the community. Now, this was tacked on to phase 1 of the development. So if you buy in phase 2 and beyond, you're not going to be hit with this tax. However, those fees are rolled into the price of the place anyway, because the developer ended up paying for it. But if you live and buy in phase 1, you are going to be tacked on with this Melrose tax. Now, this is in addition to your property tax, which is around 1.2% of your purchase price. The Melrose tax is based on the square footage and can run you several thousands of dollars every year. Again, in addition to the HOA fees.
I must break you.
Actually, there's one more fee involved, and it's called the Playa Vista Community Enhancement Fee.
Jesus Christ.
And it gets applied anytime a property is bought and sold within Playa Vista. Now, these fees pay for your special events, your concerts in the park, your movies in the park, your seasonal events that happen in Playa Vista. Now, the cost of this fee is 0.75% of the purchase price. So, for example, if the purchase price is $1 million, the fee is $7,500.
Damn!
Now, who pays for the fee? Well, that's negotiable and it depends on the market conditions. The buyer could pay for it or the seller could pay for it. But either way, you should be aware that there is an additional fee. So that's 4 different unique fees to live in Playa Vista. So when you're thinking about living in Playa Vista, you should really consider those expenses. Now, there is one more negative to Playa Vista that I can think of, and it may or may not apply to you, but Playa Vista also is very dense and condensed. So if you're a person that likes your own personal space, especially if you want a single family home with your own yard, Playa Vista is not the neighborhood for you. Playa Vista is built so you have very little private outdoor space. All of your outdoor space is community-based, which again is very special and unique and attractive to a lot of people. But if you are someone that needs their own privacy and wants their own land, even single-family homes in Playa Vista really don't come with any land to speak of. So again, Playa Vista, sense of community, but sense of privacy, not so much. Playa Vista in a nutshell, you've learned it here. So make sure you subscribe, tap the bell to get notified, and of course, I'm always here to help with your move to Los Angeles.